If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. GMS fam. Yo, what's up? How y'all feeling, man? It is Monday. Yes, back to the work week. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, we start off every show with peace, love, and positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward to you, hoping that you pass it forward as well. Thank y'all for pulling up on me. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's getting to the money. I hope everybody's achieving every single last goal that they set for themselves. GMS fam, how y'all feeling today, man? Y'all good? Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking chat right now. I see Angelo 3000, Trauma, Black Man America, Brim Dog, Earth, Angel, Faith, Ralph S, Samaj, and Knockout Noda. What's going on, y'all? Zen Master in the building, High Def, Young Rain, Will Stumbling. How y'all feeling today, man? It is Monday, and we are here for another episode of the GMS Show. And today, we are going to be talking about a few things. But first, I want to start out by reviewing a hit Netflix film called Don't Look Up. Now, for those that have not seen this movie and want to see it, I do not want to spoil it for you. I don't. But you hear, you might as well listen. So I got a chance to watch that movie, and I will say it is probably one of the best movies that I have seen in a long time. And it didn't have to do with a star-studded cast. It didn't have to do with the fact that, you know, it's just Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think this movie in particular really gave us a as close as an accurate look to what society would be like if the world was coming to an end. And you know, we're going to talk about that. We also are going to talk about the Antonio Brown situation. We're also going to talk about the Lil Xan and Stat Quo situation that has to do with Lil Xan possibly or probably in the act of suing his former manager because he's accusing him of giving him drugs and feeding him drugs and making him a drug addict and almost, you know, and being responsible for almost killing him. We'll get into that. But let's review this movie. Now, let me see who's seen it. Haven't seen it yet, but I love the A-list cast. Okay. Let's see. Haven't watched it yet. Brimdog said. Basically, a meteor is gonna look. That's what I want to get to. But we're gonna hear a few things first, man, because I want to put some things in perspective. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because, for one thing people really don't know about me is I have thought about this scenario 100 million times in my head. I cannot express enough how much I've thought about the fact that this earth could just explode at any moment due to, the inner temperatures of the earth, if the core becoming too hot, just natural disasters, meteors, big rocks in space that are the size of whole mountains crashing into this earth. And I've thought about that over and over again because, I'm not one of those people that is so caught up in, my phone or like social media or like the random bullshit that's going on in the world that I'm not thinking about reality. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a very, very small chance that something like this will occur, it's still a chance that it could occur. I'm not here to scare nobody. I just want people to continue to keep an open mind and really kind of pay attention to what really matters to them. So, just to start this off, before I review the movie, there's a few things I want y'all to hear. First, shout out to Brian Cox. He's I believe a scientist or a physicist professor. That's what he is, a physicist professor. And he had a couple questions asked to him after the movie dropped about certain things, like would there ever be an impact, the science behind it, what is a comet, the protocols behind it, because during the movie, the start of the movie, it shows Jennifer Lawrence. First of all, the stars of the movie, Leonardo Dicaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. It started out with them, and they're a scientist. Jennifer Lawrence discovers what the comet is, and then she lets her other colleagues know. Leonardo DiCaprio's character starts to do the countdown, or do the trying to do the math of when it will hit, when is it, or not even when it will hit, just the trajectory of it, where it's gonna go. They were trying to figure that out, and once he started realizing the numbers, he started seeing that, oh shit, that motherfucker's coming to us. So first thing I want to get into is, do impacts really happen?
Impacts happen.
Just listen.
Naturally occurring events that can threaten a city or a country or a continent or indeed our civilization happen. And the reason we ignore them, really, is because they don't happen very often. But low probability events happen. And the thing about probabilities is that they're not certainties. So until we see one coming, and until we can map its orbit, then we can't say with any certainty when the next one will hit. In Don't Look Up, the threat is from a comet.
So just that little clip right there should let you know enough, not even enough, but just a certain amount of the danger behind that. So, we still have to leave it up into the hands of other humans to determine when a natural disaster that could take us all out, we have to leave it to them to figure that out. We can't do it. We don't have the knowledge for that. We didn't study for that. We didn't practice for that. We have to wait for somebody to calculate it, which, them being professionals at it, we gotta give them the respect enough to, I guess, trust in, what they're going to tell us. But in the movie, they did their calculations, and they calculated that the meteor was going to hit within 6 months. So with that being said, these type of groups, there is an actual group in place, in real life, who maps these things out, who calculates the, the trajectory of it, the path of it, if it's gonna, hit Earth's orbit, all types of shit. And they're here to, I guess, determine when it is and try to give that information to the proper channels to try to deflect this type of thing. So now with that said, I want to go to the protocols part of it.
Listen to this. The United States has an organization now which goes by the catchy title of...
What up, Lacey?
The Near Earth Orbit Impact Threat Emergency Protocols Interagency Working Group, or NITEP IWG, I think is that.
Just for full disclaimer, I cannot show the video or else they gonna fuck with me over here, and I don't want that.
They pronounce it. It's a collection of organizations that are charged with observing and mapping the paths of potentially dangerous asteroids, and also then dealing with them if we see one that may be a threat. There is a protocol in place, actually. There's a flow chart. Detect it, make precision observations, assess whether there's a greater than 1% chance of impact. Then you have to model what happens if this thing hits. And eventually, there is a civil defense contingency. So do we evacuate the city, or do we try to move it? And a lot of it, I suppose quite disturbingly in a way, but I suppose it's the way it has to be, a lot of it is to do with the economic impact of the impact.
I say.
So, now that I let you hear that, I'm not going to go too much in that video. Let's talk about this. So, for those that seen it, you know what I'm about to say. For those that haven't, this is probably going to make you watch it. So, after those scientists figured out what the problem was, what was going to happen, and that there was a great amount, a great percentage that the Earth was in danger, they, went through the proper channels, and then they went to the White House to talk to the president and their staff to talk about what was happening. The president didn't want to hear shit. First of all, the president is being played by Meryl Streep. I forgot the position Jonah Hill's character played, but Jonah Hill was actually very funny in the movie. But you could tell, like, they treated it as if what they feel like it would be like. And honestly, I feel like that's what it would be like, because of the fact that they don't want mass hysteria that much that they will prevent trying to tell you some real shit that's about to go down just to prevent people from going crazy. And they had two scientists sitting here telling them that they had 6 months until impact, and it was an apocalyptic event, which means damn near all life pretty much is going to be wiped the fuck out. And these people, and in response, the president was like, you say 98%? No, you never say 90%. We're going to just call it 70%. And we're just going to let the people know that, wait, what? Oh, no, it's okay. And they weren't taking it serious at all. And it goes to show you, like, some of the parts that play into, trying to control the public. They went and tried to convince these people, and it didn't work. Things got put into place. You know what I'm saying? Then they started to have them go around and try to talk to media. So they started going to news stations, which is another worse place. That is worse than going to the White House. They went to a place that is constructed to lie and to try to sugarcoat shit. And the two anchors played by, I don't know the lady's name, but Tyler Perry played another news anchor. And they brought the two scientists on there, Leonardo's character and Jennifer's character, to talk about what was happening. And the fact that they were given this information that was so detrimental to the public, but the two news anchors aren't taking it seriously at all. Even Tyler's character was like, oh, do you know exactly where the meteor is going to hit? Because my ex-wife actually has a house out, and like tried to make satire, tried to make jokes out of the shit. And that's what caused Jennifer's character to spaz out and be like, what are you guys see? Do you hear what we're saying? Do you not understand that we're all going to fucking die? And then you know what happened to her? They made her out to be the lunatic, the crazy chick. And that's another thing about the movie. They did a very good depiction of how people will be on the internet if something like this was to really happen, like the severity of it all for everybody, it'll be more of a click and a post more than actual concern for the actual situation. You know, instead of people taking a scientist who came onto a platform to say that there's a meteor about to hit in 6 months and destroy the whole planet and kill everybody, they took it as, oh, this bitch crazy. Let's make memes of her. Let's put them on. And it like showed all that shit, man. It was like, it was incredible. And it also showed, this is another thing. Right after that, this movie kind of took aim at the new tech gurus and the new science professionals and science gods, if you will, and innovators. You know what I'm saying? People like Steve Jobs or somebody like a Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? They had a character in there who owned a company called Bash. And Bash was a company that, just like a lot of technology, it had a phone, a smartphone that would do this for you, do that for you. But theirs was like, it'll read your heart rate if you touch it. It'll tell when you're sad, and then it'll immediately go to something that is correlated to who you are and your personality to make you laugh. It'll tell you when you'll die, how you'll die, what you'll die from. And the way that they depicted this was more so like they put 1,000 on 10 because of the way that people are so invested in their phones and invested in this technology shit that they're not really seeing what these people are really doing with this technology and how they're really trying to just capture you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about human life anymore. It's about the AI aspect of it all. But I want to be careful talking about that too, because they try to shadow ban niggas when they talk about that shit. But you get what I'm saying. And it was crazy to hear because of, you know, the way that they put that trust in there. Now, later on, you know, you're going to see like it's going to shift. More problems start to happen. They start going through their shit. Leonardo's character is becoming more famous. So now he's taking up the role as the guy that's, you know, talking about the meteor that's coming, but they're trying to make him a celebrity or notable person to try to get him to get away from the seriousness of what's happening, because that's also playing a role in how humans are today. People like the glitz and the glamour, and they like the fame and the other shit of it all. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll forget who they are, forget the main goal of the whole thing, because they've been, you know, in front of the camera now, and everybody knows them. There's a scene in the movie where a dude's wife walks in and he's sitting there talking. She's like, damn, you're still on this? He's like, I have over 250,000 followers. I have to use my voice. And it was like, it almost gave me an insight on being somebody on YouTube and like paying attention to this shit and be like, I gotta, you know, make sure I get a show out or get a, you know what I'm saying, get a clip out or something like that, focusing and putting a lot of time in this and thinking about that right away instead of like, you know, real world problems. You know, you got to kind of dial that shit back. And, you know, it was just a really good depiction in that way. When it comes to how things shifted, because I do want to move forward until how things shifted. They got to the point where they were like, all right, we're good. You know, the president, you know, agreed to be a part of letting the public know about a meteor coming. But it was funny because the only reason why the president decided to do it was because a controversy came into play. And then that also showed you how people do certain things just to try to distract from a controversy that's going on or something that has their name. To see the reason why the president decided to say yeah was because that same day there was a picture that leaked out of the president sending her coochie to her new boyfriend or some shit like that. You'll see it in the movie. But to distract the public from that, this motherfucker was like, you know what? Yes, you know what? We will we will let the people know about this meteor, because that's a more serious thing. Ain't nobody gonna pay attention to the president's coochie if they thinking about a meteor destroying the Earth. Which is crazy. Like, it was like, yo, this is really giving a great example of how people move. Humans. People who are humans really move this way. It wasn't that big of a deal to her at first, but as soon as her coochie got threatened, it was let's let the people know. Let's let them know right now, immediately. Set up a stage, make the mic hot. I need to let these people know something. So then when they let them know that, they let them know that there was a plan in place. So there's another thing that they mentioned, that America needs a hero, even though we do run off a lot of technology. A lot of things can be remote controlled, but then you think about the fact that, yeah, America does need a hero. Every time something happens, they need somebody to talk about as the hero of this and that, or they did this or they did that. So what they did was they put a pilot in place to get into this space shuttle that was surrounded by other missiles and shuttles to go in space to deflect the meteor. And it was an impact mission. That's what they call an impact mission. So this also goes back to the protocol set in place. The protocol set in place and things that they do. So when they find the meteor and they say, okay, this meteor is going to come into Earth's orbit, we need to find out how to deflect it or how to get this thing out of here. What they'll do is an impact mission, which means, just like it says, impact. Smash right into that motherfucker, spread it out, and then whatever comes into Earth's orbit, Earth's orbit, we could be able to handle. Now, once again, going into this human activity, knowing how humans are, they set up the mission. They started to execute. They even launched the guy in the air, all the other missiles. Yes, we have a chance. Like, at least we have a fighting chance. If this doesn't work, we could say that we tried absolutely everything that we could. By the time he was getting to the sky, the shit turned around. I'm talking about everything turned around. Everybody was looking like something must be wrong. They're shifting course. They're turning around. They're coming back down. What's going on? And you see parachutes and all types of shit. Like, what the fuck? And they're asking, what just happened? Oh, that's right. Niggas is human. And we forget that our idea of life is skewed. See, what happened was, why they turned around is because the president found out from the guy who is ahead of Bash, the tech company, the Elon Musk type of guy, found out that meteor had a lot of expensive metals and basically trillions of dollars worth of material on it that they could harvest. So instead of the impact mission, instead they put their trust in the tech guy. The tech guy that made this big Bash robot that could go into space, attach itself to the meteor, drill into it, mine it for a bunch of its fucking material, and then explode it. Drop bombs into it and explode it and be like, yes, we did it. And we also made trillions of dollars doing it. Now, to people who are money hungry, sounds like a good idea. To some people who feel like it would have been something that could help society, okay. But taking a chance like that is very risky. When they found this out, Leonardo's character and Jennifer's character, they panicked and they had questions. And while he was trying to ask questions and figure out why they decided to do this, they kept cutting them off. They wouldn't let him talk. They were having the weird guy, the weird Bash guy, try to make him look like he was stupid and like he didn't know what he was talking about. Let me tell you something. There was no better way to show how naive and how money hungry this fucking place is than how they decided to stop an impact mission to go with, hey, let's try to get some money out of this. It's crazy. So fast forward, panic ensues. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going. Like now they're questioning the meteor. Like, is there even a real meteor? Is it really out there? They trying to question it, all types of shit. Then one day, while they driving, or while Leonardo's character is driving, he sees up in the sky. He's like, "The fuck is that?" He sees the tail coming from. He's like, "Yo, that's it. I can see it." He got out of his car in the middle of traffic, looked up in the sky, and saw the meteor for himself. Had everybody else looking at the meteor as well. What's up, everybody that's joining in? Hit that like button on the way in. Called up Jennifer's character. Look up. Seen it. Oh, my God. Look up, look up. So now that everybody, and then on top of that, they tried to change it into a hoax. Like this really wasn't real. So then you had a crowd, like they had a scene where it was almost like it was very MAGA-ish. Where they had the president, they had Jonah's character in front of people, in front of the White House. They all had signs and American flags and all calling shit a hoax and saying it's not real. And then one person in the crowd looked up and saw that meteor come, or saw that comet coming, and was like, "Yo, y'all said this wasn't real. Y'all said that. Hold the fuck." Then they went crazy, and that's what caused mass hysteria. That's what caused people to go crazy. The back and forth between this isn't real, that's real, fighting between some shit that people don't even know about or did the research on, but want to fight about it because they heard that it wasn't real on TV, or they heard it was real on TV, or whatever the case may be. And now look at all of us sitting here with all the same common ending. Oh, we had difference of opinions on a lot of shit, but we all are about to have the same common ending. So now everybody's going crazy. And it's like, all right, chill. We have a mission. We're gonna make this shit happen. We got a way out of this. Bash is gonna do. They laid out the whole plan. Bash, they're gonna bring up their robots. They're gonna attach itself to the comet. They're gonna mine it, and then they're gonna explode it. We're gonna be safe. We can handle it. And then it was time for it to happen. As they sat there in that control room, and as Leonardo's character, Jennifer Lawrence's character, they all were like, you know what? We got to sit back and watch, just like everybody else. We found this out. We discovered this problem. And now, after trying to do something about it, that plan failed. We can't do shit else. We have to sit here just like everybody else and wait our fate. And that Bash dude was so sure. He was so convinced that what he had would work. They blasted that thing off into space. They lost a few on the way up. Oh, it's okay. Then the fucking robots get up to the comet. They try to get to it. They blast past it, hit the rock, explode, lose a couple more. Oh, it's fine. We're okay. Then some attach to it, and then one tries to attach to it, and then it doesn't attach all the way. It flies off, hits another one, explodes. Oh, we might be okay. And then all of the mini robots that were supposed to attach to this comet were supposed to put these bombs in the comet and then explode at the same time so that the impact was enough to shatter this comet. Guess what? They all exploded at different times. They all exploded at different times. It was a complete fail. I'm talking about complete 100% fail. Then that Bash dude got up and said, everything's okay. I'm going to go use the bathroom. I'll be back. Then the president got up and said, yeah, I'm going to go use the bathroom as well. And then once everybody in that room figured out what the fuck just happened, everybody had to get up and leave and go to the bathroom and go see their family or do something. All of that. They were wrong about everything. They didn't believe the calculations when it came to them. They totally botched the impact mission that was probably could have been more successful than what they tried to do. Ultimately, meeting their demise. Now, first of all, not those guys yet, because, see, high-profile people, what everybody knows about is that there is this shuttle. There's something somewhere. This chamber, this spaceship, this aircraft of some sort that is sitting somewhere right now, ready to take a bunch of important, knowledgeable people and try to find another inhabited Earth that's like this one, just in case a natural disaster happens to where it wipes out most of the population, which is what they did. They hopped on this craft and they got the hell up out of Dodge, leaving everybody else on this planet, the same people that they care for, the United States of America. I'm your president. I'm for the people, those people. Did a great depiction of showing people who is for self and what the real agenda is. It's not really about the people. They don't give a fuck about the people. And then, a real profound scene, was the last scene of the movie with all of them sitting around the table, Leonardo's family, him and, Jennifer's character, and one of the scientists that they had with them. They were all sitting around the table and they all spent their last times not talking about the comet that was about to destroy the Earth. They sat there and reminisced about times in their lives and talked about other shit while the world was literally crumbling beneath them. Ground shaking, big tsunamis and other shit coming towards them. And then that last scene where the whole house just starts to erupt. It was like, I'm telling you, the whole time, like my heart, like it was racing, because like I said, I've thought about these moments so much. Just thinking about what if we get that new, like even the scene where the people are sitting there watching a reality show, and all of a sudden the reality show cuts and it goes straight to an emergency message from the White House. I had been waiting on some shit like that, just watching TV or watching my computer, and all of a sudden, we interrupt this message for an important. Something happened. Somebody sent out a nuke, or there's a meteor about to hit Earth, or fucking aliens have decided, you know what, enough of this planet, let's go fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been waiting for something like that for so long. Like, it's crazy how much I've thought about that opposed to something happening to me just randomly on the street, like getting shot or getting hit by a fucking bus or some shit, or a plane crashing. Like, I think about natural disasters more often because we live on a big ass rock. We live on a planet that is surrounded by a universe of a bunch of shit we don't know about. What if there was a nigga that had a bowl and it was the whole galaxy, and like there was all the planets and shit, and he was just like, you know what? That little blue thing right there look weird. And then he took his hand and he took it out and just threw it. And that was us. You can't say I'm wrong because y'all niggas don't know that. You can't say I'm wrong. That could be a possibility. You never fucking know. You never know. But that's just me going on a high tangent. All I have to say is I'm going to need y'all to watch that movie, man. I'm going to need y'all to watch that movie, and I need y'all to really understand it from a certain standpoint, man. Don't try to think about the fact that it's star-studded. There's a bunch of celebrities in it. Forget that. Look at how they depicted this shit, from the public response, the government response, all of it. Just think about that, man. I think this movie did a good job of keeping people with that in their mindset that, you know, there's way more important things to think about or to be worried about here on this earth than the shit that we already worry about that don't mean nothing. It's a 2-hour movie, but I still suggest that you watch it. Also, there's a few alternate endings to it, so when you watch the credits, keep watching. You're going to see some extra shit. Now, appreciate y'all for listening to that review. I really do hope y'all go see that movie. It's very important that you do, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about this, man. This came across my way a couple days ago, and I wanted to make sure I talked about it because there's so much weird with it. There's the artist by the name of Lil Xan. That's right, LILXAN. For those who don't know what a Xan is, it's a Xanax. It's a drug, prescription drug, and it's something that is quite popular within the culture and something that people rap about very often. It has led people down the wrong path, turned kids into drug addicts. Some people have lost their lives, overdose, all types of shit. And not just from Xanax, but just prescription pills and other types of shit, period. It's crazy because certain people will do things. They'll come into the culture. They will try to soak up as much of the culture and as much of as money as they can. And once they realize that this game isn't what they thought it was, they'll start pointing fingers everywhere besides themselves. Lil Xan, first of all, you hear his name right. Lil Xan. Your name is Lil Xan. And that's right. That's right. He's blaming somebody else for his drug problem. Nobody made him do these things. This was an image, and this was something that he wanted to portray because he saw it was working for everybody else. Let's keep it real. There's a lot of kids who see what's going on out here and they want to imitate the shit. And they see that it's working for a lot of people. They see it's getting people money, it's getting people fans, it's getting people notoriety. And they will take up that image. And when it starts working for them, everything is cool. But when money starts to dry up because they're spending too much and not saving it, and when they find themselves in a position where they're ODing or they're withdrawn or whatever the case may be, shit starts going whatever way in their fucking brain. So what we have here is Lil Xan accusing his ex-manager, Stat Quo. For those who don't know Stat Quo, he's a rapper turned manager. He managed Lil Xan, and has done some things for him, helped him out with his career, made a lot of money with him. And now Lil Xan is accusing him of continuously feeding him drugs while he's on tour because apparently he can't perform while on withdrawal. I need y'all to hear his explanation, and I want to show y'all a few things of why, because he's now claiming that he's going to sue his manager for forcing him to do drugs or saying that it was his fault that he was doing drugs. It's crazy. Somebody named Lil Xan, who names his fans the Xanarchy gang. Trying to flip it now, try to make it anti-Xanax when these are the things you're like, how How are you going to flip that? Your name is Lil Xan. You're known for your music and doing drugs. And then you name your fan base Xanarchy. But now that you want to be sober and now that you're running away from your own accountabilities, now you're trying to change that into, oh, it's anti-Xanax. No, it's not. No, the fuck it's not. But let's listen to him and what he has to say about this real quick. I'm also going to play you a clip from Whack 100. Now, for some reason, Whack knows everybody. Whack knows everybody, and he had a story about this situation. I'm going to play that right after this. So listen to what he has to say.
Oh, no, okay. Yo, I never go live on here anymore. How's everybody doing? Got my little healthy juice. Yo, I just want everybody in the live to let me know. Don't I look a lot healthier, right? This is sober Diego. I don't even want to call myself Xan no more because of the bad stigma that comes with it. This is sober Xan.
You should have thought about that. Yo, who the fuck? Listen to that. I don't even want to be called Lil Xan anymore because there's a bad stigma behind it. You should have thought about that before you named yourself Lil Xan.
And look, got weight to me. Not so skinny anymore, you know? And I just wanted to bring up a topic. Do you guys remember the whole Little Peep, the story where his management was giving him drugs and you know, and it just wasn't helping out and all that?
This is how people, first of all, I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is why I'm breaking this down. This is how people who don't like to take accountability like to start off their stories with other people's experiences to try to make theirs to try to validate theirs. So with him talking about Lil Peep's situation, which I don't even believe that shit because this nigga Lil Peep, rest in peace. I don't have nothing against Lil Peep. Never was a fan of his music, anything like that. I have absolutely nothing against him. But he's one of those artists who was on Instagram literally dropping Xanax and dropping pills into his mouth. He was dropping this shit in his mouth on Instagram. So for somebody to accuse somebody else of forcing them to do something or giving them something to do against their will or just doing it to feed them the shit and getting them hooked, it's going to be a very hard time in court for you to prove that when there's video of that person doing these drugs themselves and providing themselves with this shit. Because here's one thing that the defense is going to say in court when it comes to this case, if this case ever even sees court, is if we gave you the drugs, we didn't force you to take them, did we? We didn't put them down your mouth. We didn't say, hey, take this in front of us. Xan's going to say no. He's going to say, so if we provided these for you, you had a choice to still take them or not. Manager pop up, hey, I got some Xans for you, dog. Here, enjoy your show. Here, your stupid ass. Okay. I'm all Xanned up. No, you have a choice to do these things. And once you get yourself in the rabbit hole, it's very hard for you to take accountability. I want y'all to hear more of what he has to say.
That happened to me on tour.
And, I agree, JJ.
My manager's name, I don't even like to call him my manager anymore. Stat Quo.
Exactly,
Remember
Young
that
Rain.
name, Stat Quo. Because when I was on tour,
I have to say that. Young Rain said, these dudes so lame they get money off being high, they want to cry later. Oh my God.
2018 to 2000 whatever. The world tours with Nicki and Juice and all that. I was a drug addict back then, right? And my manager was supplying me with the drugs. He knew all my plugs, so if I couldn't perform, because
he knew all my plugs. So you mean this is what happens when And I'm not shaming drug addicts. That's never something I want to do. I'm not shaming drug addicts. I'm not looking down on you. I'm not here to call you anything like that. I'm here to point out certain bullshit. If you are trying to work on a case for court, you are doing a horrible job for your goddamn lawyer. Because when you call them your plugs, that means that these people you had a relationship with yourself. So even if you can say that this man handed you drugs, you're saying that he knew your plugs, which means you had to get him in contact with your people to get you what you wanted. He didn't find these people. Those are your people. But let's keep going.
Because I was withdrawing back then. Because, yes, I used to
just
be
breaking it down,
addict.
that's
all. You know, he would call, make calls, send $5,000 out here, $5,000 out here, just to ship the drugs to wherever we're at in the world, Switzerland or anywhere in America.
Think about this too. I'm sorry I keep stopping it, but I have to he keeps saying things that are incriminating. He's knowing the numbers of money spent. See, a lot of these artists, they will tell you that they end up broke because they don't know how much money is being spent. Fetty Wap was just getting done talking about how when he realized he wasn't getting paid $100K a month anymore, he knew he was losing it, and was talking about how he went to just look at the shit he was spending money on because he wasn't looking at that type of shit, or he wasn't looking at his finances. He was realizing that he was spending $10K a month on car insurance, on cars that he didn't even drive. Imagine paying tens of thousands of dollars a month on car insurance, not even knowing it. You rich, so you thinking, oh man, I'm spending what I'm spending because I got it. No, you supposed to take the time to look at that shit right off the bat, even if you got it, even if you ain't got to worry about it for the rest of your life. Make sure you look at that shit. He's like, man, I took the insurance off of all them damn cars because I don't drive them. He said I drive 1 or 2 of them cars. And I got insurance on 20 of these Why? You know what I'm saying? So he knows the amount of money that's being spent, which means also they can prove in court like, yeah, he's providing the money to get these things and asking me to do it because he is a celebrity. He is the artist. He can't go out and just get the shit for himself. We got to go get it for him. Let's keep going.
America. And he's going to act like he didn't do that, like a fucking hypocrite. And I'm really feeling like I should take him to court, right? Because that was the time I almost died from the drugs. I was so skinny, unhealthy. Yeah, but his name is Stat Quo. I'll even fucking pin this right here. Yeah, Stat Quo. Also, he took my car away too. That I paid. That the majority of the money. How ironic. Peeps my fucking cover too. And now he wants $30,000 of the remaining money to pay it off, which I paid literally. It's all my money in the car, and he won't give it to me. And that's not even the real reason. I almost died on tour multiple times from him supplying me drugs anytime I needed it because I couldn't perform if I was withdrawing.
Incriminating himself again. I couldn't perform if I was withdrawn. Guess what? If you didn't want to take these drugs, you would say, fuck this tour right now. Fuck me trying to go perform. I need to go get help. But you hear what he said? He said he couldn't perform while on withdrawal. So he needed the shit. Let's keep going.
And I've always wanted to make this case known. He is a terrible fucking human being. You know.
He even had a doctor that gave him prescriptions.
And yeah. You know, it just sucks. You know, the industry just sucks. And that's a big reason why I haven't dropped another album is because it put such a bad taste. After I got sober, it put such a bad taste in my mouth.
It wasn't the Xan?
To even want to make music.
Oh.
Knowing how fucked the industry is. They just want to keep you alive long enough to make their fucking money. And
I don't know who's talking in the background, but somebody's talking in the background, which he should have had them shut up the whole entire video because it's not helping your case, my guy.
even better for them, because guess what? It's easier to manage a dead artist than an alive one. And that's what sucks about the Juice WRLD situation. It's because Juice was one of the most talented fucking people, and now they have his whole catalog of music that did. And who knows if that's even what Juice's vision was. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out to Juice, one of the most amazing artists. Shout out X. X didn't die, obviously, from drug-related issues. But, you know, it's just the same shit. They don't care about us artists. And that's why it's hard and almost traumatizing to make music at this point. And that's why I'm trying to find my love again for it. You guys can tell that I am sober. I don't look skinny anymore. I've gained weight. Like,
I've seen fat crackheads before. That's beside the point, but let's keep going.
The way I present myself. But yeah, Stat Quo, lawyer up, because seriously, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm literally coming for you. That's fucked up. It's really fucked up what you did to me, man. Really, it really is. And then when he felt that I was useless to him, moved me way out an hour away to a city called Corona, California, just not to deal with me anymore. And that's when the drug problem got even worse, because I felt depressed that I was so far away from LA, and it just spiraled out of control.
Once again, not saying, like, he's saying stuff that's not going to help him. Guess what Stat Quo was doing for you when he moved you way far from LA, the person who had a drug problem? Do you think somebody who has a drug problem should stay smack dab in LA? Probably not. If anything, I would hope, in my opinion, that Stat Quo was like, I need to get this kid away from his influences, people who will enable his drug habit. Why do you think him moving so far away from LA, even though he's still in California, was such a problem for him? Why do you think he dipped into a depression? Because he wasn't around the same people that he was around. He wasn't around his same plugs. So of course it became a problem. Of course he became somebody that went deeper into it. Once again, also telling on himself that he was the one doing the drugs. During that time when he said he moved him far away from LA, you have to think about the fact that he said in his quote that that's when it got worse for him. He didn't say that, yeah, and when he moved me out to that place in Rona, California, he kept coming through and just dropping off drugs for me and getting me high all day. No, you said that you fell into a depression and kept doing the drugs. It's crazy.
He was supplying me drugs throughout every.
Young Rain said, look at this dude's face. Look at his IG post. Listen to this. The judge probably will throw this out because this kid is an idiot just like them island boys. Let's see. Marcus Jenkins said, what's your argument? You bouncing all over the place. Is the industry's lack of thought for you drug use managers not being shit? What's your point? Exactly. And that's another thing. Like, I think just that aftermath, like, let's just say he is sober or getting sober from doing the pills and the other shit. There's a long-lasting effect from people that have constantly done it or who were addicted to it. So that's probably part of it. Him bouncing all over the place, slurring his words, looking like he's sleepy or about to like doze the fuck off. It's probably just the after effects of the shit. Or he could still be doing it. Who knows?
One of those tours, because he knew that I couldn't perform if I was withdrawn. That is illegal and fucked up. And Stat, please get your lawyers together. My lawyers will be in contact with you and give me my fucking car back. It's all my money put into the fucking car. And you want the rest of the $30K? Are you kidding me? And his excuse is, yo, I don't have a license. I do have a license. It's suspended. But, like, I want my fucking car back. Jesus Christ, bro.
So, somebody who's your manager who takes, tries to take care of you, helped you become a popular rapper in the culture, helped you make a lot of money, is now keeping you away from getting locked the fuck up for driving a car you don't have a fucking license for, but you're mad that he won't give it to you. Another problem, first of all, showing again probably why Stat Quo wasn't the one enabling him or trying to get him to do stupid shit. If he was feeding them drugs, why the fuck would Stat care if this nigga had a car without a license? Explain that. Oh, you gonna hand me Xanax, but you don't want me to drive because I ain't got a license. Pick a side of the moral standing. Which one is it? Oh, he moved me far away from LA, but then my drug problem got worse. Sounds like Stat Quo kept trying to help you and you kept fucking up. That's just in my opinion. Let's hear this real quick. I want y'all to hear this real quick because somebody who's claiming that they're sober also answered this question.
I smoke weed occasionally here and there, but that's about it.
Now, you know I don't have anything against reefer. You know I ain't got nothing against reefer. But if you are a hard drug addict, doing any type of anything is a trigger. I assume maybe somebody has a different opinion. Maybe somebody who actually was addicted to something could chime in on this, but I don't think it's good for somebody who was addicted to drugs to continue to do shit that is a trigger for them. Like, and maybe it's not a trigger for them. Who knows? But it's like you can't call yourself sober if you still smoking weed. Because I don't call it sober and I smoke weed. Doesn't mean I smoke crack, nigga. It's just I smoke weed and I know that weed is different. So I'm not finna sit up here and call myself sober. I'm not sober, but I'm coherent.
Thank you to the
Wait, and I have to play this part too, because like I said, somebody who is trying to build a court case, trying to say that somebody provided him with drugs and made him this drug addict and made him OD and almost die on tour because they provided him with all these drugs. Why do you call your fans this?
Fans that are still here rocking with me today. Without you guys, I would be nothing. I love the fans. I love the Xanarchy fandom. Xanarchy is going to come back stronger than ever.
Xanarchy is going to come back stronger than ever. I hope not in pill form, my guy. And I don't even mean that in a joke, because a lot of people end up relapsing who are on hard drugs like this, pills especially. But I wanted to just play that and get that over with. I need y'all to hear the other side of this because there is another side of this. All right? And y'all need to hear this. Now, I know whack is everywhere. Whack is always saying some shit. Whack is always in some shit. But I am on my guy Stat Quo's side on this. So what Whack 100 had to say about this situation in Stat Quo, I have to 100% agree with him. Listen to this.
Like, bro, let that nigga go his way. I'm like, bro, he gonna bite you in the ass one day. When you ready to turn it off, right, and he see it, he gonna do some way out weird shit. You know, media work. And Stat is one of those dudes, he don't like the media. He don't even want awards. This nigga don't, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's not, that's just what he is. He's real cool, he quiet, he don't say too much, he don't be around a lot of people. He come in, he handle his music business, and he pretty much go home, he take care of his kids, his mother and shit, and that's really all he do. He from Atlanta. He used to be signed to Eminem. He's our A&R, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's A&R's helps Game handpick all his records. Him and Game came from the same camp. He just fell up under the Eminem side, and Game fell up under the Dre side. But this is crazy. That's why when I seen it, I said, man, I know this little nigga. I've been telling Stat for the last year, 2 years, bro, let that nigga go his way. The nigga done OD at least 4-5 times.
Damn.
Checked out. They didn't have to bring him back.
How old is he? You know what?
Lil Xan can't be no more than 20. He might be 24, 25 now. He been signed to Stat maybe about, Stat been doing business with him maybe 4-5 years. Contract been up. But, you know, dude done ran through his money, but Stat got such a big heart. I'm like, Stat, bro, cut that. What are you doing, bro? That's no longer your business no more. Nah, whack, I'm gonna keep helping him. Like, dude didn't OD like at least 4 times. Like, checked out. They gotta bring this nigga back, bro. It's that first one down there, paying the bill, all this crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? He won't even answer my phone because he know why I'm calling. Like, bro, I know you ain't. Yo, whack, man, let me just, it's cool, man. I got the money. It ain't no problem. It ain't put me in no situation. He done fucked off hundreds of thousands of dollars on this dude, trying to help this dude with his addiction. Don't get it wrong. They made a lot of money together when he had his boom. But the reason why I didn't stay there, because when the dude got rich, the nigga started, doing drugs and shit. Anybody that knows Stat don't smoke cigarettes, weed. He don't do nothing. Stat don't even drink. He a fucking L7 for real. Square.
Yeah, you
Whack,
might.
You know
it's
what I'm
the
saying?
life though. It's the life though. Whack, look at Mac Miller. You get what I'm saying? It's the
Well, you
life,
know
man.
what? On Mac Miller's defense, because I went at Mac Miller when he died. I'm like, why everybody so, I remember I called a lot of flack. Why everybody so fucking, that nigga knew what he was doing. In his defense, yeah, he was getting high, but Mac Miller was the first of the fentanyl shit when we really didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So he could have been taking a regular dose to get his regular normal high. What killed Mac was that fentanyl. Well, like, I didn't understand it back then. Because niggas were
Rest
like,
in
damn,
peace,
Wack,
Mac
you was
Miller.
kind of harsh. I'm like, man, fuck that nigga on drugs. He rich. Fuck that. But now understanding that they found that what that nigga took was that fentanyl shit. That fentanyl. Everybody that do drugs and they got it on weed now, know this. Your regular little dose of what you do to get you right and get you straight. If that shit got fentanyl on it, you're dying. So you're playing Russian roulette with your life now to get high. And your dealer don't know that they done stepped on this shit way down the way before it even come across the border. So all y'all that get high, know at that next little fizzle or that next whatever, this shit got it in there, it might take your life.
Now, that's what I mean by me fully agreeing with what he's saying. First of all, I wanna acknowledge the fact that I'm glad he understood the whole situation with Mac Miller, because that was actually what started me not to like Wack. I didn't really know much about Wack 100, but when Mac Miller died, his statement came out, and I was like, "Who the fuck? What the fuck is he? A nigga?" Basically, that's like saying fuck the girl that got spiked and died. Like somebody spiked her drink and put some shit in it, and she drank too much of it and died. It's not even about, like, I agree with the Russian roulette part of it. Like, you're playing Russian roulette with your life when you go out and buy certain hard drugs, and they might have some shit in it, it might have some shit. But if you going thinking that you getting one thing and that shit has some shit in it that can kill you that you didn't ask for, oh man, come on. It was a low, very, very low blow. And I'm glad he realized that and didn't try to, because a lot of niggas got egos in this industry, and they'll try to stand on the bullshit that they talking about. But Wack understood that shit was way out of line. That's all I'm saying. He didn't deserve to die like that. But in this situation, like he's saying, Stat Quo was just one of those people that I guess, in my opinion, Wack said he don't drink, he don't smoke, he don't do none of that. It'd be weird for somebody who doesn't engage in all that to be the one to go and get it for somebody else. You have to have a reason not to do that type of shit, because you either tried it and it wasn't cool to you, or you seen how it did other people and it wasn't cool to you. So it wouldn't make sense for somebody who doesn't do that at all to try to go and provide that to somebody else, especially a kid. I think Lil Xan was one of those artists that saw the come up. He saw the opportunity and was like, wow, these drug head kids are getting famous. They getting the bag. They getting the likes. They getting the tour. They getting to live their dreams. Let me go out here and be a rapper too. This rap shit looks easy. Plus, I look white. They love white rappers. When nobody guessed Lil Xan was Mexican when they see him, stop it. You know what I'm saying? He had to tell people he was. You wouldn't know he was Mexican until he said his name was motherfucking Diego. So it's just like he saw an easy path to it, man. And then once he got addicted, once his money started drying up, once the shit started kicking him in the ass, because you can't really create, you can't really tour, you can't really interact with the fans or anything else like you could be doing because you so strung out on whatever it is you're doing. Now you losing opportunities. Now you looking at the people that were taking care of shit who ain't taking care of shit no more as the enemy. I bet you right now if Lil Xan had a couple million in the bank right now, he'll be asking Stat, hey, can you go down to San Bernardino and grab me a you know what I'm saying? Stop it. Money's drying up, shit's looking weird, and now you want to start blaming people for the shit that you did, that you chose to do. That's not how it works, my guy. That court case is folded before it even started. And it's funny because he mentioned in that video, Lil Xan said that this all started because he had just got off the phone with Stat Quo and Stat was going off on him. So a nigga went off on you. You didn't say why he went off on you. That's another funny thing. The guy that provided you with all this bullshit, you didn't say why y'all got into it on the phone. You didn't say why he was screaming and yelling. You know, the guy that helped you out with all this shit, the guy that helped you get famous, helped you get a bag, helped you take care of your family. You ain't talking about what he's screaming at you about. But you sure did wait till you got out that phone to go on live and say, he did this. Another thing I was waiting to the end of this to point out. The only thing that Lil Xan can say that man did wrong to him was allegedly provide him drugs. Did you hear anything else? Did you hear anything else out of Lil Xan's mouth where he said this person did him foul, this person did him dirty, and this person did XYZ? No. What I heard was he was somebody who had notoriety, who had money, was on tour, sending motherfuckers out to get him drugs, getting fucked up before concerts because he couldn't perform on withdrawals. Somebody who had to move away from L.A. because it seemed like L.A. was probably part of the problem, had to move far away from there. Drug problem got worse. Somebody who license got suspended, so he can't drive a fucking car else he'll get in trouble. And somebody keeping that car away from him because clearly the kid's defiant. And clearly, like Wack was saying, Stat Quo spending hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to help this kid with his addiction. Do you think the last thing I want to do is go bail your dumb ass out, spend more money on you? Nah. As a matter of fact, you owe me this truck. Motherfucker, you owe me this truck. And if Stat Quo is saying that you still owe $30,000 on this truck, I'm sorry, but you might owe $30,000 on that truck. I can't wait because, like you said, you know, he's not one of the people for the media or anything like that. So I doubt we're gonna hear a response from Stat Quo. It's probably just gonna go to court like Xan wanted to do, and then it's probably gonna fail, and then we just gonna hear about the fact that the court or the case was dismissed, and then that's gonna be the end of that. Because people who really know the truth and people know and they confident in how the outcome will be, they ain't got to spend too much fucking time on the internet, if at all. They ain't got to explain shit. Oh, it's going down. This nigga, he's stupid. We got this. It's cool. Xan talking about he got screenshots that his friends saved because they knew that this day would come. Sounds like a setup. Sounds like a damn setup. Sounds like somebody who was a drug addict sitting back talking about, dude, if this shit ever goes to shit and I lose all my money, just screenshot this text and I'll sue Stat Quo and get all his money. That's what that sounded like. Or it could have went like this. Oh my God, where are my bills? Fucking the stat quo won't give me my shit, man. Fuck it. Here, we're gonna send this text message and then we're gonna screenshot it, and then later on, just in case, just if I need it, we're gonna use it against him, and I'm gonna sue that motherfucker, man. He should have been here with my Xanax. That's what that sound like. Either or. Could have been one of the other scenarios, but one of them had to happen. Like I'm saying, man, get your shit together, Lil Xan. Get your shit together, Lil Xan. Figure out what's going on with you. Take accountability for your own shit. Now, last but not least, we have to talk about Antonio motherfucking Brown. Antonio Brown, receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, decided to walk off the field in the middle of the third quarter. People were looking over in the sidelines. They're like, what's going on? They seen, an altercation of some sort, verbal altercation. They seen people, going at AB and like asking them, like, seemed like people was trying to stop him from doing something. And what ended up happening was this. Look how everybody was standing up.
Shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field.
He said, y'all. So do y'all, first of all, why do y'all think that happened? I want to know from y'all, why do y'all think that happened? I gotta know. What do y'all think is AP's problem? JR said, what Antonio did is what I wanted to do in NFL blitz game, but hey. Was the eye of the tiger playing? I don't think it was. I hope not, man, because them motherfuckers would copyright strike my ass in a minute. Was it? Oh, man, I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't. Damn, I didn't even think about that. I should have played that with no sound. Fuck. JJ said, I thought he was going to get naked. A bunch of niggas thought that. It was like, is this nigga Antonio Brown getting bucket naked on the field? What the fuck is going on? Bullshit contract. It says King Lukey said AB has CTE. He needs help ASAP. Dwayne said it's a lot of confusing reports. A real teammate would have fought him to stay. It seems like Tom Brady was one of those people that gave his perspective. It still feels like, he still gave his respect, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He said the guy needs help and, they're there for him and they care for him and shit like that. The coach was like, no, he's no longer Buccaneers. Let's keep talking and let's talk about the people that was here. The coach was like, fuck that nigga. And I think I think the situation is crazy because, we know that Antonio Brown has had a lot of antics that's happened, either on the field, in the locker room, or off the field somewhere in his personal life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's been instances where, when he was playing for Pittsburgh, being in the locker room, in the coaches talking, and then this motherfucker went live on Instagram to talk to the fans and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he does certain things that makes you feel like there's a problem or something like that. But there's a clip here I want y'all to hear, not necessarily see, but hear. I need y'all to hear what these guys' perspectives is on this, and let me know what you think.
Teammates tried to calm him down. I think it was Mike Evans at one point tried to talk to him.
Oh, let me turn this up.
Mike Evans just walked away. I think was it O.J. Howard as well tried to talk to him. they walked away instead of like trying to grab him, hold him, calm him down. It just seemed like guys just were, all right, like I'm done. Like a lot of people looked like they were just done in dealing with him. What did you see? And from your perspective as somebody who played in the league, what happened here? And how did something like this happen on a field during a game?
Well, Han, the first thing I would tell you is that when you have teammates and guys on your team coming over, being compassionate, having empathy, trying to help you, and then you still diss them and treat them that way, then that's probably a last straw for them as well, right? But I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like this within the game of football, a player leaving his teammates on the field, going shirtless, doing jumping jacks through the end zone, asking a state trooper for a ride to the airport. Clearly, Antonio Brown is not healthy upstairs, right? He needs to get help. Mental health is real. And I think that should be the conversation right now. Mental health is real. And I'll tell you this, in 2012, when I was playing with the Atlanta Falcons, we started the season 8-0. We went down to New Orleans to play the Saints, and we lost that game 31-27. And in the locker room, we had a defensive player who was already on edge, and our head coach is trying to talk. Now, let me mention our owner and our general manager is in the locker room at this time as well. And our head coach, and he's steadily trying to get dressed while our head coach is trying to talk. Tough loss now against our rival. Right. He continues to take off his pads, and when the head coach asks him to stop doing it again, he proceeds to use some vulgar language and just say, forget all this nonsense in so many words. Guess what happened the next day? He was cut. And that's a player that we had signed in the offseason to a lot of money. So it's a fine line between respect. But then you hear Tom Brady in his press conference. Tom Brady is feeling a little bit of the weight of this because this is a guy that Tom Brady brought into his home and spent time with and believed in that he can make this turnaround. And for Antonio Brown to do the things that he did, it was kind of slapping Tom Brady's face, a guy who went to bat for you. But I will continue to say this. There's a pattern that has been going on with Antonio Brown that shouldn't have been ignored, and he needs to get the proper help.
I want y'all to hear the incentives part too, because that's one thing I want y'all to understand. They're going to bring up all these $300,000 incentives that had to do with him, how many catches, yards, touchdowns. Just listen. I'm
not even joking, Han. Like, he needs to get the proper help.
No, this is not. This part of it's not the laughing matter, of course. I mean, when you're watching it, you're just caught up.
See, Zen Master said it. He was pissed about not hitting his incentives.
The jumping jacks, the shirtless, just the whole scene of it that was jarring. And the more you think about it and you look at the history, and I'm going to go through some of the history of his behavior in a minute. But when you put it all together, that's when you start to say, like, and is this something deeper here for him to do this? But you mentioned Tom Brady. And you mentioned Brady is a guy that wanted him there, that brought him in there, that had him stay in his house, like all the things to try to get him. Now, if we can keep him on point.
They tried to make it seem like Brady was doing a charity for Antonio Brown. I don't know.
He can really help. And last year that proved to be true. This year, it never really did. He left a ton of money on the table, not just with his salary. 8 catches to unlock a over $300,000 bonus. 55 receiving yards for another $300,000 plus bonus, and 1 receiving touchdown for another $300,000. So he almost left $1 million on the table for things that he could have easily achieved before the end of the season.
Now, the reason why I want to bring that up is because it didn't seem like he was getting the ball during that game. Didn't seem like they didn't really want to give him his incentives. You know, same thing kind of like, I want to say Victor Cruz maybe? Money-hungry owners and money-hungry leagues that try everything in their power to not pay motherfuckers. Matter of fact, they do everything in their power to get them to pay them. So quick to find players tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars very quickly. But when it comes to those incentives, it gets a little weird. See, they like to bring up money when somebody's going through some shit to try to make them look dumb. But the same reason that they're calling him dumb for the whole incentive shit is also proving the point of why he possibly said fuck that team. I could be wrong, but if I was a man that felt like I was doing a lot for the team, and like they said, they won a Super Bowl. He came back last year, he killed it for them. Wasn't no antics, wasn't no weird shit. This didn't happen till now. Clearly he felt some type of way. And while this was happening, it did not look to me like somebody was, because I mean, at first, like the way that they put it, the headlines, the first thing that they want you to think is that he's having a mental breakdown. So the headlines is, this is what he's had. He explodes on the field. He has a meltdown. He blah, 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 all this other shit. So that's kind of what you gravitate towards first, and then you start to sit back and start hear more aspects of the whole story. Then I hear because like I posted a clip myself. I'm like, oh shit, this nigga AB is tripping. So of course I post the clip up and whatever, and then I hear them talking about the incentive. And I realize that it is a pattern in that when they start to bring up somebody's money to try to prove that whatever it is that they're doing, they shouldn't do, or they should have the incentive to try to, I guess, behave better, so to speak. Like when LeBron brings up social justice issues, or not even just LeBron, any black player in the league bringing up social justice issues, people try to tell them, oh, you get paid millions of dollars, and while you sit there talking about injustices and being and not having privilege, bro, that has nothing to do with what reality is, man. The reality of the situation is things really do be happening behind the scenes, and people don't really know about it until people leak the shit. Now, AB's going to come out and say what the real problem is. But by then, people already have their preconceived notions of how he is. People, that nigga crazy. He's just talking out his ass. When he could be really genuinely telling you why the fuck he did what he did. And then when I hear about the incentive and then I go back and watch the shit, then it didn't look to me like he was just spazzing out. It looked to me like he was like, man, he was really fed up. Like, yo, fuck this team. So I think I mean honestly, that's just from my perspective, man. And that doesn't eliminate him having, possibly having CTE or him dealing with mental issues. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't exclude that. I know that, he's one of the people that would take his phone out and start recording on IG Live when he got some personal shit going on with family. Those are the type of people, like Brimdog just said, people who are addicted to drama. The only people that break their phone out and go live to try to expose motherfuckers that they with or having problems with, especially when it has to do with relationships, those are the type of people that do tend to gravitate towards attention. So somebody being fed up, usually, you'll see a player that's mad on the sideline, just on the sideline, pissed off. Probably will start playing poorly, but continue to play. Him being the type of guy that he is, his way is, if I'm saying fuck it, I'm saying fuck it. I will like to point out though that they was losing, and Tom Brady in classic Tom Brady fashion finished the Jets off with only seconds left. I mean, it's actually amazing how he brought them back and beat the Jets. I mean, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. You can say what you want about Tom Brady, but that nigga, Tom Brady, is ridiculous. Go watch them highlights. I don't know how they came back with that much time left, but they did, and it's because of the way that Tom Brady just has that eye and that arm, man. The eye and the arm. those two, when you have those two aligned and they connect and they're in sync, there's nothing you can do. Multiple championships, man. You get looked at as the GOAT. That's what it is. But I think I also think that this is going to ruin AB's chances on any other team, man. Nobody's going to pick him up after this, which sucks because, you know, he clearly has a lot more talent and a lot more time left to put in as a, you know, an NFL player, you know, still healthy, still can do what he can do. But, man, your behavior outweighs your talent when it comes to this business. People spending money on you, millions of dollars on you just for you to, you know, snap the fuck out. They're not going to take no chances on that. And it sucks. It especially sucks when you are a really, really good player. So, hey, man. I hope he works it out, man. I hope Antonio Brown, man. Look, man, I wish you all the best, brother. You know, we root for you, man. We hope that everything, you know, everything gets fixed and rectified, and you figure out what's going on with you, and just protect your mental health, man. You know, take some time away from this shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't spend too much time on the internet reading shit about yourself. You know who you are, man. Just take that time, reflect, man. Do what you got to do. We wish you the best, Antonio. We really do, man. Look, man. First of all, hey, I want to shout out everybody in the chat, man. So if you didn't participate in the chat, now is your time. Put the GMS in the chat. Also, hit the like button if you haven't yet. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell. Share this motherfucker too, man. If you got any other socials, hit that share button. Copy the link. Post it on one of your socials. Let them know where to go to the GMS show. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit me on the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I will most appreciate it. You know what it is, man. Get that bot out of here. If you see that bot, if I got moderators and y'all see those bots pop up, get them motherfuckers out of here. Get them niggas out of here. Let's go. Now, actually, you know what? I'm gonna run this beat. Let's get it. Let's get it, GMS fam. Put a GMS in the comments right now. Let's go. Ralph S. in the building. Black Man America in the building. Brim Dog in the building. He said, Mickey Knox said Kevin Garnett has had $200 million contracts and he's still Hey, no Kevin Garnett slander will be fucking tolerated. Kevin Garnett is the homie. That nigga is the real homie, man. For real. Kevin Garnett, legend. Never in life. Shy Girl 64. Brielle Knox. Arius, Baby G, King Lukey, Jeremiah, Dwayne Isaacs, Mickey Knox, Marcus Jenkins, Marcus Speaks. Zen Master in the building. Trauma, Marvin Thomas. Yeah. Let's go. Simo. Anthony 313. She said, no, I wanted to hear the first one you started to play. Gotta switch it up. Hey, don't you talk about my Timberwolves, Dwayne. Don't you fucking talk about my Timberwolves. They beating niggas out here. Alright? Dwayne, who your team? I bet you we beat them this year. Shout out to the Timberwolves. Shout out AE. Shout out Patrick Beverly. Beasley. Motherfucking Cat. D'Angelo. Fuck protocols, man. Stupid ass shit. Hey, I want to say that too, man. These motherfuckers was on protocol, but sitting on the sideline on the bench. Explain that. Can anybody explain that? No, I mean, I really want somebody to explain that. They have people on protocols but they're there on the bench. Makes no sense. Ha, we beat the Lakers. Ah! Wait. That was the wrong laugh. Ah! Had to give you the precise laugh. We beat the Lakers. Stop it. My little sorry ass Timberwolves beat your Lakers. Get that man out of here. What is he talking about? Our sorry ass Timberwolves beat your Lakers. Dwayne. And that's why I believe it. We out.